Well, welcome to our second annual 3P in Africa fundraiser. It's been an amazing year, one that I hope you'll catch the feeling of, the inspiration for the 3P in Africa team leaders who have done an amazing job. But the real testimony of this year is the 3P African educators. When we started, we had this dream that the students would become colleagues, because we understood that Africans can teach Africans better than even what we know. They can connect to the people. They can go into the communities. And this show, this fundraiser, our second annual, highlights that the biggest impact that we could imagine. It's interesting. We often equate things to money. We equate things to audience. But our goal is the 3P African educators educating Africans, and that's the testimony that we're trying to highlight here. I just want to highlight. So again, African educators teaching Africans, and we're going to highlight that. The other thing is, this year, Dicken, we've kept the purity of the principles throughout the whole organization. Everything we touch, we try to keep transparent, pure, and I believe it demonstrates the power of 3P. I don't mean 3P as a brand. I mean the power of the principles to go in and penetrate when there's purity from the human mind. Oh. Yeah, excuse me. And that purity has allowed us to market without marketing. We've never marketed one word. All we do is share our educational material, and the people come to us, and they come to us daily. And it shows, demonstrated to me what works in alleviating suffering in the world, because we know 3P is the ultimate answer to the alleviating the suffering. And the answer that I come up with is, if the human mind does not disturb the principles, they move at the speed that Einstein was talking about. But the human mind slows them down, the penetration of them. And so we've seen in Africa that when they're uninhibited, they're more powerful than money. They're more powerful than communication. It goes out to the right people, and the right people change, transform. So this is a testimony of how the three principles on their own, without human interference, create a spiritual reality of results. And that is an impressive thing to say, to be honest. And for me, Dicken, a learning of the right way, the way it goes out to transform the world. In this case, to transform a continent. And now we are not only in Uganda with 8 or 10 projects, 6 projects in Kenya. We're edging into Congo, Malawi, and even the possibility of Burundi is there. And what we're seeing is the same message. If they are interested in changing, they pick up the principles in about 15 minutes. Isn't that amazing, Derek? That in 15 minutes, the ones who are ready, and there's just a lot of them who are ready. Yes, there are a whole bunch of other people who are into the money. This looks like a money grab. They can get some money for themselves, or they have their own ideas, their own agenda, but not including the 3 principles. They will get dibs and dabs, but the ones who are ready understand the connection of thought and God. They connect it directly to an inner happiness that they want. And that has been the main message of Africa. They are tired of being unhappy. And their time has come. While the rest of the world is mired in problems, and Africa obviously has problems, the people have an underlying desire to be happy. And the principles have supplied them with the answer that they're looking for, which is very, very powerful. I can promise you one thing today as we get into the feelings with the people. They are the stars of the show. Mark, Harry, Jim, Shalia feel blessed. We are. So with that in mind, the first topic is Sylvia and Phillips are going to talk of how special this 3PAE series is and what it means to them. I told you it's a milestone for us, but let them see what they have. And I have no idea what they're going to talk about. So Sylvia and Phillips, if you can unmute yourself and just introduce yourself, and let's get the show going. People are already tired of listening to me. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you, Harry, and I'm very happy to be on this show. First of all, I welcome everyone to this show. So I'm Taiwa Phillips, manager in Akibre CPR co-department, and as I mentioned, I'm also leading host and of 3PAE, which is 3P African Educators. We are happy for this because we are sharing as now African to Africans, so that we show what 3Ps have done to us, not only sharing outside, but also sharing as Africans. So as me, I see that 3P African Educators is really good, that we shall be now sharing ideas and also to show our capability as Africans on how 3 principles has helped us. For example, as myself, when we are now hosting other guests from Africa, we are rating what we have been seeing outside happening, not in Uganda, not in Kenya, but even outside. So it is very good that we are now sharing love and also sharing the purity of 3 principles as it was uncovered by Sidon Banks, sharing the secrets like of happiness, as we shall be hosting our second guest next week, which is very good, and also to express our peace and the joy that we are finding in sharing 3 principles, so that others can also see that it is possible for everyone, not only for maybe think that 3 principles can be shared or even practiced or understood by only people who are not Africans, but also to know that even Africans have capability and have the right, also the free will to do what is possible so that the suffering can be alleviated.
I'm a 3P educator in Africa, Homa Bay, Kenya. I live with my grandfather in an orphanage here in Homa Bay called Friendship Home. It has a total of 25 children. And since I found happiness in me, I remember when I met Harry, my life was full of sadness. I did not know about happiness. And I remember when I started sharing with him, he told me, don't listen to my words, listen for a feeling. And for sure, when I started listening for that feeling, I had that little voice from within myself telling me, Martha, you deserve happiness. Happiness is free. And just like a miracle, I found my happiness. And now in the orphanage, I teach the children about the 3 principles. I teach them that how they can find happiness from having a positive feeling within themselves. And thank you so much, Harry, for the books that you help us with, the Zahara books, and the stories that teach us about happiness, love, and they really like the stories so much because the stories really have got great teaching, because even about comparison, the children have, even in school, they do compare themselves with other children. So they get the teaching that they are, it is just the thoughts of mind. They are good. They are capable. Yeah, I really do appreciate about that. Thank you so much. And I like to thank Shailia for always helping us, for always helping us with some donation. She always looks for us some donation for food. I really do appreciate that, because the children, even now, they excel in the school, because lately they could not even excel well because they cannot study when they are hungry. And we have some 4 children here who are born with HIV and AIDS, and they need that balanced diet, fruits. And right now, their health is good, because at least when we get some donation, they have to get that balanced diet, fruits, and right now they are energetic. Even the girls could not manage to go to schools when they have that menstrual cycle because of lack of sanitary towels. Right now they are so happy, they are jovial, and they are so happy. Even when I teach them about the 3 principles, they're happy, because they know now that happiness is free. Happiness is, they have the key to their own happiness. Every living creature lives by these 3 principles. And the purpose of life is to be happy. Everybody deserves. And once we realize that these negative thoughts are not permanent in us, we stop focusing on them. And once we stop focusing on them, we immediately tap on our inner wisdom and peace. Sydney Banks says, going into the quiet mind, a state where you are present, open, and connected to your intelligence mind. And that is where you will find the answer. You yourself, you have your own wisdom. I always tell them, don't be afraid. Even when they are going to do their exams, they go there with a positive thought. We are going to excel. And they go in the exam room with a lot of courage, and their performance has really changed since the 3 principles. They love each other. They have learned about forgiveness. Thank you so much, Harry, for bringing the 3P in Africa. I really do appreciate, because I personally, the 3 principles have really helped me. Yeah, I did not know about happiness. I didn't know that I myself had the key to my own happiness. And beneath the noise of our thinking lies our natural state of well-being. This natural state of well-being is not something that we create or chase. It is there within us, waiting for us to connect with it. And I'm so grateful for the teachings. Thank you so much. And about the children are a blessing, because now that they grow in love, they grow in happiness. And now that they know about the 3 principles, as they grow, they share. And when they share, sharing is growing. I always tell them, sharing is growing. Sharing is growing. And even when I teach them, they always call their friends to come and listen to their stories, because I always educate them. Sharing is growing. They want other children to also come and listen to the nice stories, the great teachings, the 3 principles. Yeah, it is a blessing.
I I will give a little bit of my own introduction into 3P in Africa, and then we'll get to the real stuff, which is what Sylvia and Joseph will have to share with you. Um, Regarding my intro to 3P in Africa, my friend Harry was over visiting for a couple of days on Salt Spring Island with us, and he had just started things going over there, maybe 3, 4 months in, and he started to share about the great feelings and how excited the Africans were to find out about 3P and how they were changing so quickly. And it really got to me. It really touched me. I really wanted to do it myself. I wanted to experience what Harry was experiencing. And I approached him about it. I wanted to go. I said, take me on a ride along with you, Harry. I want to see what's going on. I want to get in on this. And he obliged. He included me, shortly thereafter in my first experience over there. Uh, and then I want to flash forward. That worked great. But a few months ago, I took a look at how my world had changed, how I had grown, the sharing that was going on, how I'd benefited from the sharing. And here's an example, and this happens to me, a lot. This is a fairly common thing for me now. I get a lot of total strangers approaching me on Facebook, and some of them I respond, and some of them I hear about from Harry. I will make contact. We will set up a meeting, a Zoom meeting like this, one-on-one. And as I'm talking, it's somebody who's never heard about the three principles. And I don't go into asking all about them. I just start the story. I talk about the three principles. I talk about how life works. I talk about the common journey that we all have to our own enlightenment. I talk about levels of consciousness. The whole shebang, it goes down. When we're born, we're coming in at a certain level. When we pass, we've grown, like that. And the goal is not only the truth of the matter, but the feeling of the meeting, the feeling of the level of consciousness that's going on in the Zoom call or in the live call. That's the one. We want to get happier and happier. We want to get closer and closer. We want to deepen our feeling of love. And about that time, I will I will stop for a minute. I will approach the other person. I will say, "How do you feel right now?" And the answer I got from one person, and it's the same actually, who had been through horrendous experiences in his life and had reached the points of desperation. And he said, as soon as you started talking, and ever since you've been sharing, I've been feeling myself healing. That was so profound to me. That was it. That's why I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. That's the sharing I want. That's the feeling I want. That's the connection. And Africa has it. The Africans are hungry for it. Imagine you 3P practitioners to be able to take 20 minutes and the person you're talking to has broken through, has understood, gets it. Gets the feeling of, the dangers of negative thinking and the empowerment of free will that allows us to stop it. And then it is replaced with joy and love and happiness. That's what Africa has to offer. And to see people changing so rapidly, and so many of them embracing it and becoming teachers themselves. The experiences that these young African teachers are having are very similar, only it seems almost like with a deeper feeling. They embrace it so deeply. Uh, that's what's going on. That's why we're here. This experience is an example of teaching and sharing for humanity in general. It's not just an African thing, guys. These Africans are shooting up their levels are going to be the ones that we emulate. And they are going to be teaching everyone else. They're teaching the world by their example right now. This is for all humanity. This is not just for Africa. This is for everyone. The more we see people breaking through 3P, the more the level of consciousness of humanity grows. That's our mission. And, you know, take a look at this meeting here. There's so much learning going on at this meeting here right now. And the images of this meeting going out into the ether for others to watch live on Facebook, recorded down there for others to learn from and grow from, other Africans and other non-Africans. It's an incredible power of energy of 3P that just follows the.
I go to meet Harry and Jim. And then at certain point, Harry had so many other groups to join in. And then he left us with Jim, and we continued, and they taught us about the 3Ps, you know. And then I got to find out that we have been teaching the 3Ps, but we didn't know that we are teaching the 3Ps. So we are teaching them in the religious part, but we didn't know that they were 3Ps because they were connecting, you know. They were connecting, talking about love, talking about forgiveness, how you use your mind. Even the Bible encourages us to always have a positive mind, to have hope, to love. So I was like, this is good. We've been teaching this thing, but we didn't know it. So we embraced the 3Ps, and with the help of Jim, we started growing in the 3Ps, and then we started teaching the children. We first had a phase of Zahara asks what is love. It was on a tape, so we played for these kids. Zahara asks what is love, and we started introducing Jim to the kids slowly by slowly. We started talking to them about Zahara, about love, and interacting with them. And it was amazing because they had never seen a white person before. You know, Papa Jim was one of the first white guys to talk to. And these kids were seeing only miracles happening each day, you know. So later on, Papa Jim, we grew, and we connected. Actually, he reached a point and became part of our family. That's why I'm calling him Papa. He became part of us. Like, he went deep into our family, and he's part of it now. Like, he kept checking on us. He kept knowing how we are doing home. He knows all my family members to a point that he knows my mother and father. See, so my siblings. So later on, he joined with the struggle also of taking kids to school. So he joined us, and he's sponsoring a big number of kids to that same school of the village. And then he also supported with the soccer balls. These kids get soccer balls. Recently, we shifted and we left town. We constructed right in the village where we are teaching the kids. So we are with them in the village, and I've been sending him some photos. They fill all the compound, like playing the soccer. Recently, he got us a ball for volleyball, and then the net, and then the poles. And these kids have been enjoying this. You know, it's something they can do in holidays to keep them busy and not getting bored. Yeah. So because of the 3Ps, they have brought light and happiness in this village. We are seeing kids and elders change. They always come to hear, they always come to learn more. We always meet them every Wednesday. We always meet them every Wednesday and every Sunday, and for the kids every Saturday, with that gift of love, with that gift of positive mind, with the gift of using their thoughts very well. So I really can't thank Papa Jim and Mama Rose enough for how they have helped us. And me personally, I was struggling with something that there is a past I had some years back, and I was very, very many years back. So I was struggling with not forgiving myself. Like, I couldn't forgive myself for what happened some years back. You know, I was living the life, and but I couldn't forgive. Whenever I could think about it, I was like, oh no, you know, I keep blaming myself. And then with the time, as I started talking and being open to Papa Jim, I told him what happened. I told him the story, just like Martha expressed his story to Sheila. I also told him. And then that is the moment he told me that you need to forgive yourself. I learned that so much, because all the time we've been telling people forgive, forgive, but personally, I had not yet forgiven myself. Like, I had not yet known that it happened and it happened. It can't be reversed, and it wasn't my fault for what happened. And I have to leave it behind and embrace the new life that I have. See, I didn't know that. I was all away preaching and walking and moving with life, but I kept that blame on myself. I couldn't forgive myself. So after he had talked with me about forgiving myself, and I did, my life changed. Like, if I even think about it, I'm okay with it. I'm like, okay, it passed. You know, I don't always get those negative feelings I used to get whenever I think about it. So it was very, very, very good. The 3 Ps, particularly in my family, me and the community I work with, it's such an amazing thing. So that's why I decided, like, whenever I see their kids, their people, I always want to go. That's why I decided to be going to Adeti, at the border of Kenya and Uganda. Joseph, he has a school and there are kids there. So whenever I'm around kids, I feel like I'm home. I feel like it's the right place. I feel like they need to see that love from either me or someone else. I give what I can. As long as I have it, I can give it, because I want to see that beautiful smile on the face. And then recently I traveled to Nakivali to see what Philip was doing in an Achieva refugee camp. It was such an amazing experience. Very beautiful, beautiful people down there, willing to listen and learn about the 3 Ps, you know. So I just thank the environment that 3 Ps has given us. And as we are starting, I had so many stories about Martha and Sheila, about Harry and Philip. I love it that we are not only sharing and growing, but we're also building friendship and relationship, which is very great. So yeah, 3 Ps, and it has really done. And the hosting team that we have started, the webinars that we have started teaching our fellow Africans, I believe it's going to be beautiful. We are going to learn more from our fellow Africans, and we are going to share more. We are going to grow more. Yeah, so also need to leave my friend Joseph to say so, but 3 Ps have been so great in the northern part of Uganda, and Papa Jim has done a lot in the northern part of Uganda. All the kids know his name. Recently we are playing with the kids, and he called me in the time when we were with the kids, and the kids were like, hey, it's Papa Jim. So like, they know him, and I was like, okay, pick him up. And they picked him, and all the faces were on the camera. Like, they're happy to see him, they're happy to know him, they're happy that he's part of them, him and the wife. And we are also grateful. You are doing much for this village. It's enlightening. It's seeing new things because of you, and life is coming up because of the people that are helping. So yeah, thank you so much. For now, let me stop here.
From that day, we started seeing the happiness of our teachers grow to the extent that, yes, through embracing the 3 principles and love, teachers started loving children. They could share with children. These are things that never used to happen before. Like in a school, a teacher is a boss, and a teacher's instruction is final. And in rare occasions, a teacher would listen to a child, like a child is coming and has something. You know, it's all about, I'm a teacher, I'm above you, I'm an adult, and children would not be given an opportunity to express whatever they are feeling to them. But when the 3 Ps came in, they helped the teachers to understand that a child is equally a human being who has feelings. A child needs compassion. And through that teaching of 3 Ps and love, I want to just share that, yes, a lot has changed. Gone are days now where a teacher could go in class with a cane, with a stick as an instruction material. Today, they are going in class with love, expressing a lot of compassion because of the 3Ps. And we have seen our children grow. Children now are loving teachers. They share freely with the teachers. The teachers have embraced the love to the children, and they really share a lot. And then around the school compound also, because of the 3Ps, we just discovered, yes, that love is free and we just have to give it free. We have to make ourselves happy. Today we see teachers now with the children playing in the compound, something that never happened. There are times during games time, children are just lonely. They are thinking about homework, are thinking about what they're supposed to do. They never got this opportunity to share. We have grown now with the soccer balls that you see teachers and playing. In addition to that, I think as a result of 3Ps, we have also made it deliberate that every week we have a session of 3Ps in our school where children are reading about books, Sahara Asks Love. And in these sessions, children are sharing, they are expressing, and this has helped to create a close link, a bond between our teachers and the children and even the parents, because we have shared even the 3Ps with the parents. And we have emphasized the role of the parents, taking care, loving their children. In our community, the best, before actually the 3Ps, the best a parent could tell a child is, you are stupid, you are hopeless, look at this. All the words are negative. But through Ps, we have taught our parents to appreciate the children, to show children love and care. And all this has happened. And we have seen now the love for children by their parents growing, increasing, the same at school with the teachers. And we have generally seen the school grow. The happiness at school is incredible because of the 3Ps, to the extent that now children, when you talk about the 3Ps, they understand what it means. Many times now they are coming to the teachers, can we talk about the 3Ps? And they're doing this with a lot of happiness, with a lot of joy. And this has just made our school to stand. Like I've always given this testimony that possibly if it wasn't 3Ps as one, as a director of the school, I was even at a verge of giving up because my heart was full of negative thought, full of negative mind. Like I was almost coming to the end. But when Papa, Jim, and Harry shared about the 3Ps, I started thinking positive about myself, taking away the negative because it was not adding value to me. And it has helped me to build on, to press on. And as we speak today, the school has grown. 3Ps are being shared every week with the children. We share with the teachers 3Ps, with the parents, the community 3Ps, and they have really appreciated because even families are standing. As I just summarized, one of our teachers actually was at the verge of breaking their marriage. But when we talked about 3Ps, the teacher forgave herself and even forgave the husband. And she came at school and gave us a testimony that 3Ps has helped me to restore my marriage. That is how deep it has gone to our hearts, that even we apply 3Ps at our families, in our marriage, in whatever we do. And that has sustained us as a school. We are working as a team. The happiness has increased and it has kept the school going. So I just want to appreciate Papa, Jim, and Harry for introducing this concept to us. It has done us good. And because of the 3Ps, we have seen our dead school grow. The smiles are coming day and night, and we cannot take it for granted. Thank you very much. I think for now, I can stop at this.
Quick announcement. 3P in Africa has a Facebook group. Please join it. We have a YouTube channel with incredible educational resource material there. Please take a look at it. We have a podcast site where you can listen if you don't have the data for video, you can listen to audio type of thing. And Shelia has just released our new website, which she did all exclusively on her own. And all you have to do is type in 3P in Africa website, which there is an address, but 3P in Africa website, and it will take you to it. and you click on it in Google, and it will take you right to what Shalia has designed for us. And Dicken,
Yeah.
I don't mean to demean Jim or Mark, but they are not technological wizards, and it is nice to have somebody else who.
Hey, I heard that.
So it's nice to have somebody else who can do some of that stuff too. To type.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, so please do that, and especially 3P in Africa Facebook group. Join that, and that keeps the network expanding and expanding, so on. Okay, we're going to continue. Now we're going to Kenya. In February, Mark joined the team. The caring has been unbelievable. But the moment he stepped in, Dicken, the energy took off.
Yeah.
And you don't need
It's timeless.
don't need brains to figure out this is good.
Yeah.
And it just took off, and it's continued to take off. And now we have 6 projects in Kenya. Mark has been instrumental in what has happened in Kenya, and at the same time, some of them we do ourselves, some of them he does exclusively on his own. But Mark and I have grown closer, and when we talk together, it's like poetry. We just sort of move in and out effortlessly, and that is also a testimony to our growth together, type of thing. And we have beautiful conversations, but Mark is one of the most caring human beings in the universe, and he puts his heart out, and because he cares, he breaks through his own stubbornness, he breaks through his own things, because he loves love. He just loves love. So with that in mind, I'm going to let Mark talk, and we have Andre Hassan and his group, Mark, and you take it away, Mark.
Okay, Harry, thank you. Yeah, I don't know about being stubborn, but
Oh, no.
or technologically challenged. I agree with that. And our Andre and Hassan and Mark, and who I'll introduce in a few moments, are so amazingly good on the technical end with very few resources. It's amazing. Out of with barely enough data and cell phones that are very old and so forth. So anyway, it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with this. We feel like I'm a tiny piece in it, and it's not me, of course. It's the 3 principles, that the understanding that's ringing the bell, that people are, the Africans are hearing that they've already got it, and that they already have a huge feeling for the spiritual, and they just needed that one little understanding about thought, and keeping the thought pure and not having to try so hard in life and be so serious. It's just, if we can get our own beliefs and serious thoughts out of the way, let them go, and we're feeling that together, and they're sharing so much now. I'll move straight on to that.
Happy to meet with the big people like you. It is not good to me to meet with, but it's God who make me to be with you. But first, if I can say, let me start with my introduction. I'm Burundian by nationality. I am 5 years old. Yeah, I am size 2. I am me and my kids. Before I meet with Haley, it was the time I faced the challenge. I was a leader in the church. After that, the others start conflict with me and reach the level to kill my wife when after deliver the kids. After face that challenge, is the time I met with Harry, and Harry start share TP to me, and I come to understand how to get the TP. It was maybe my food, what I'm waiting.
Maybe turn off the video, maybe. I don't,
That's not a bad, it's always worth a try.
yeah.
So Mark's story is unbelievable, Dicken. He's a leader in the church. There's animosity. They poison his wife, and he has the little child comes out of it, and he finds forgiveness. And as Mark says, he not only found forgiveness, he's now working back in the church.
Very sorry. It is disconnected. The link is disconnected. It is not my side.
Well, talk,
but I can
now.
go ahead.
Yeah, talk now. And we can hear you clearly. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. What I say, the time I met with Harry, was the time I lost my wife through the conflict started from the church leader. After that, they killed my wife while I spent with her 1 year married. But through that one, I was not lost the hope when I met with Harry. Harry started helping me in terms of guiding how I can live in a peaceful way and start sharing the love, how you can live together with the people who make it, who kill your wife. After that, I come normal. I say, that is true. What the years I spent in the church, I was not learn how I can live together with another people who make bad thing to you. But through this 3P, I come to understand 3P. What is 3P? What it is shared, what it can help you in life, how you can live together with people who is your enemy. But this time, the time I met with Ed, I start understanding. Why? Why for all years I was there? No any leaders or any pastor who was sharing about love, about happiness. But for what I was thinking, how you can be happy? Well, maybe while you have money. It was I was thinking before. But the time I met with Harry, I learned new things. No, money, it cannot bring happiness to you. But what it can help you to be happy, it is you who can create the happiness from you. Because happiness, it is for free. It is inside you. Huh? I say, true. Yeah. After that, I said, if it is like that, let me starting like that. Let me start learning. Let me start creating that happiness to me. It was the bad situation to me. Even I was not even in need to meet with any people or to meet with those who killed my wife. But through these 3 people, I am greeting them. I wish that even I used to visit them. Even after that, I welcome to them to our session. Now they are my people. They are my friend. I used to loud to them. I used to share 3P to them. Through this 3P, what I learned from Harry. And even I thank God, and even I thank to Harry and Mark, who bring this to us. Sure, I am very happy. I'm very happy for this. Even if I meet with them, I am not thinking what happened to me. If I don't need to think what they did to my wife, always I used to be happy. After when I realized and I say, this 3P, it is helping. Why? Why I want to learn this thing only? Why? What I cannot do to help the community? After that, I talked to Harry. Harry, may you allow me to share this 3P2 community. After that, he accepted me. I make awareness the community. I welcome people. That time it was 100 people who was attending that sessions. But my side, the time I started that one, it was only target for the leader to show how 3P working. It was three days for workshop. I welcomed them and I shared 3P to them. After that, I told them to go to share it in their churches, local churches, where they came from. It is now large in the community. Now they are all people they used to share. After that workshop, even I talked to her again. Harry, may you help me to welcome the women or to invite women to join us? For him, he was accepted fastly. I say, yeah, that is good. I make the advertisement, I put in different charts. We got 45 women. It is what now I am together with them. I used to share 3P to them. Some of them now they start sharing 3P in the community, like the Yvonne, what Mark he said. Yvonne, she's the one who used to help me in the community, and I say, through what they learned from this 3P. And after that, we open another in Congo. Because of we saw what we learn in here, we cannot stay together to use that one in the Kakuma only. We want to expand it to everywhere. After that, I talked to Justin. After Justin talked, he accepted. He started sharing that one in the refugee camp in Congo. We have a large number for refugees in the Congo. The camp, it is called Moja. That camp, it has a lot of people who are living there, those who face different conflict, problems, women's disabilities. We have a large number there who used to run our 3P. But this thing, it is not from me. I say, it is only from God and Harry and Mark, not me. It is the one who make me to know that one after know this 3P and expand it to another country. After that, we was not stopping there. We open another one in Burundi. Yeah, now it is there in Burundi. For sure, happiness is for free. Love, when you love yourself, you share the love to another people. No people, no anywhere you can get the love, or nowhere you can buy the love, nowhere you can buy the happiness. Only you. It is inside you. Thank you. If there is anyone who have any comment or questions, hi, welcome.
Wow.
And now, Mark, introduce Andre. We've got a
All right.
picture now. So thank you, Mark, by the way. Beautiful sharing.
Oh, beautiful, Mark. Andre and Hassan, you guys, it's your turn.
Where are they?
They're up.
And it has unlocked that negative thinking of thinking about the past, about the things that they lost. Then the 3P came in with the transformative that they have to be in the present. Because future cannot be predicted, but the present is what you are going through, and you know how to play the game of life. So the 3P has brought a lot of changes that we are now going through it, and we came to understand that there are challenges, and the only thing that we have to overcome challenges, we have to face them. We have to calm down our negative thinking first, then we take a good solution on how we are going to tackle the challenges that we are facing, because we can't give up ourselves because of the challenges that we are facing, because it has already been there. And about the love and forgiveness, we all came to understand that through 3P. I'm a victim of them because before I came from a rich family, but then due to the war that happened in Sudan, we had to come to Kakuma refugee camp to seek for refuge. But you know, I've never gone through this hard life. Then I came to experience it here. But when I met the 3P Mark and Harry teaching us about this, I came to learn that I have to be happy again because happiness is free. That's what I came to understand. And I don't have to give up my happiness for any, or I don't have to rely my happiness on anything. And before, I've been thinking that if I have money, I have to be in my normal life that I used to be before. But then I came to understand that everything happens and happens with a reason. I don't really know why it happened, but it has already happened. I have to think of what I will do next, and I have to think of how how do I deserve to be happy? And actually, I deserve to be happy. Then why should I ruin my happiness by negative thinking? That's why I have to isolate myself from negative thinking to positive feelings, because it is good. All of us were working so hard to be happy, and indeed, we came to understand that happiness is free, and we have to forgive ourselves as we forgive others, and we share love. That's what brings a good feelings, and we all understand that. And people here in Kakuma are really eager, and they are learning anytime, every day. They're coming in with a testimony that this 3P has really changed us on this, and it is a grateful. We are really grateful for the lessons that we are really getting from Harry and Mark, and we are taking it back to the community in a positive way. That because we need Kakuma to be a place where people will love it and think that it is a place that we call home. We don't have to think about the where we came from again, because Kakuma is a place that we seek for refuge and we are safe here. So it's a place that we need to transform it to be a place where our family will need to live, our children will live here in a happy with no. We don't want them to be thinking about the past and what we came through, but we need them to know how they will make Kakuma a better place and a place of happiness again. We have to unlock their negative and we install happiness in them again. Thank you, all of you.
Good morning or good evening to all the colleagues who are struggling to share this wonderful message. Yeah, I'm very, very happy to be part of this, because three principles has done a lot of changes in my life. You know, the time I came to Uganda as a refugee, I faced a lot of challenges, where my father was killed and other relatives were killed by rebels. Then I came to Uganda to think maybe I'll have a place of peace. But the time I came to Uganda as a Bible studies teacher, I joined a church and I started teaching the Word of God. I was teaching about love. I was teaching about forgiveness. But I could not understand more about love. While I was a Bible teacher, but I couldn't understand how to forgive myself and also to love myself. And when I started teaching in a church, we started many projects, and also we found a school project. But after a moment, all my friends, my church members, they became against me. They started fighting me, and they even chased me out of the church where I was serving. So it was a very, very sad moment. And I thought maybe everything has finished for me. And I was very sad, because I thought maybe I'll get peace while I'm teaching in a church. Maybe I can forget about the killings of my relatives and my siblings and my daddy I loved very much. Then after that, people started fighting me, chasing me away from the church, chasing me away from the project I was running. So I faced a very bad moment until God brought me a man called Harry. And when I met Harry, for me, it was like a miracle. Because when I heard about Harry for the first time, I could not believe. Because his message was like, he was talking about what I'm going through. And I started following how Harry was teaching about mind, thought, and the consciousness. And I was very much encouraged by the message Harry was teaching us. Then after a moment, one day, Harry started teaching about forgiveness and love. And that inspired me very much. And by lucky enough, I was alone on that connection on that day. The other members were not connected. So we spent a lot of time with Harry. It took almost 2 hours, maybe up to 3 hours. And Harry was talking about forgiveness and love. And that message inspired me very much because I had no love again with people. Because I could think maybe those people killed my father or killed my relatives. I can't forget about what they did to me one day. And also, I was thinking maybe those people chased me away from the church. I could not forgive them. I could not even meet with them and greet them. But I really thank God for Harry and the other colleagues who are teaching this message. They are doing a very good job in this world, not only in Africa. So Harry taught me a lot about love and forgiveness. And from that moment, I started forgiving all people who did wrong to me. And even the happiness started coming into my heart because I had no peace. And I wanted to abandon everything I was doing, thinking maybe God does not exist. How can God abandon me while I was doing his work, while I was preaching people in the church? How? But it's just because there's something I missed in my life. I couldn't understand about love. I couldn't understand about forgiveness. Yet I was a teacher. I could teach people about forgiveness and the love. Then, after hearing that message about forgiveness and love, so my life started changing, and I started having happiness in my life. And I started even sharing with other people about love and the forgiveness. And even now, I'm leading a satellite which has 2 villages, Sudan and the Kashosha village, where I'm supporting also Maria Foundation organization. And also, I didn't end from there. Also, in a church where I'm teaching, I've started also teaching the children about love and forgiveness, because most of the children we have are children from the war, and they don't understand about love and forgiveness. So I really say thank you very much for Harry and all the colleagues who are doing this tremendous work to help people who have lost their hope. And now we can have hope. We can enjoy the happiness now we are learning from the. And even now on the 25 December, I'm going to have a very huge group of children. I'm going to share with them about love and forgiveness again, because I normally do it every after 3 months when the children are on holidays. So I teach them also about love and forgiveness. And this has brought happiness even in my house. Even my children now are happy because they were asking me every day, Daddy, why are we in Uganda? Why we are in Uganda? And when I was telling them stories about my country, sometimes they used to cry. But after I started sharing 3 principles with them, even my children have forgotten all what happened to us in Congo, but they are now happy and they can understand the situation. So I may say thank you very much for the group. Thank you very much for the good job you are doing. May God bless you.
Great. And Shelia has been working with the alcohol department, mostly with Phillips, and she has been talking in different villages there. Maybe you could share a few words, Shelia, about what you have.
So beautiful what everyone is sharing. It's so inspiring to me tonight. I'm so glad to be here. I sometimes get invited into the refugee villages to speak. Phillips asked me, and he'll say, Shelia, you haven't been to Kapazana village in a while, and the people miss you. When are you coming back? And he tells me, today we're going to talk about love and contentment, or today we're going to talk about forgiveness. And I get the great honor and the privilege to share the 3 principles with the people there. And what I experience every time is very similar. It's very much, I'm greeted with love. I'm greeted with welcome, open arms. And Phillips and Harry were doing the work in that refugee camp in the villages. And the team, I don't want to forget the team. Phillips works with 3 beautiful people, the team he manages. Phillips, you want to show the team there next to you as well so that everyone can say, like, see them? I don't know if you can show the camera. Hi, guys.
2 out of the 3 are there. 1 is sick.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Good to see you. The people in the villages have been visited by Phillips and the team for the last 2 years, and their hearts are wide open to the understanding. They know about forgiveness. They know about love. And it's just a beautiful experience to share with them. And one of the things that always stands out to me on each time I go into a village virtually with Phillips is that the people there want to share with me. There's always a blue chair in wherever they are, and the people come one by one by one, and they give testimonies of how the 3 principles have changed their lives, how they found hope, how they found a feeling of joy, how they found a feeling of love that they share with their family and their neighbor. They also tell me about the stories, the hardship of how they came to be at the refugee camp. That's part of their healing story. But they don't tell it to me for me to be sad about what they've gone through. They tell it to me because they want me to know they've come to a new understanding. And they want me to know that that traumatic experience that they've been through, it's not defining the way they're living their life. They're living happy. They're living with that free happiness that they always had in them. They tell me the secret that happiness is in the now. It's not thinking about the past, what you've been through. It's not thinking about the worries you have with what's coming in the future, but being right here in the very now. They tell me that again and again. And every time I meet with them, I'm deeply touched. Every time I learn something new, I see something new for myself, I come away with hope and a beautiful feeling. It's the biggest gift in my life to be able to go with Phillips to the villages. And I have to give Phillips a big shout out because he's such a loving human being, and the whole team that he works with in Naki Valley. He cares so much about the people there. He is a humanitarian, as are the team members, and they're professional alcohol counselors, and they do such a professional, passionate job. I've never seen anyone share with such joy and with such commitment as Phillips and his team do. And it's an inspiration to me every single day. So thank you, Phillips and the team, for doing that, for being there for the people. Thank you for being my friend.
Phillips, can you unmute yourself? Phillips, can you unmute yourself? Maybe not. Can you talk? No sound. Okay, we'll have to move. Unfortunately, Marinda and Andrew are there. Yeah. Go ahead. Well, for a second.
Yeah, thank you. You can hear me?
Yes, very good. And I've asked Phillips not to talk, but to introduce Marinda and Andrew, and they will share a little bit in Swahili.
Yeah, am I audible there? You can hear me well?
Hear you well. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Thank you. So, as Sherry mentioned and Harry, of course, I'm managing this department. And I would like to share that all the team with myself have seen and understood about the free will, think and change, and do what we're supposed to do. So with me now, I have Murinda, who is going to share his story and the testimony and how he has changed from being alcoholic, from being a victim, and now sharing as a professional counselor in the villages. So we'll be speaking in Kiswahili and I will be translating into English. So imagine.
Jambo kwanza,
Greetings everyone.
nashukuru sana.
I'm happy to meet you.
Mimi naitwa kwa jina la Murinda.
I'm called Murinda.
Rugaragara.
Rugaragara.
Niko Mkongomani Mnyamrenge.
I'm a Mnyamrenge from Congo.
Kutoka Congo.
Came from Congo.
Nikakimbilia huko juu ya vita yenyewe ilitokea Congo.
And I came from Congo because of war.
Nikakimbilia hapa Uganda.
I'm just now living in Uganda now.
Lakini nilikuja na hali mbaya sana.
But I came when I was already feeling very bad.
Ya mawazo mabaya na kunywa pombe.
Because of overthinking and even drinking alcohol.
Vitu inataka mtu shida sana.
And I understand when you have faced like wars, you now have to change in the thinking.
Wakati unaona watoto wanakufa, wadogo wako wanakufa.
When you see people losing their lives,
mawazo inaenda mbali.
Then the thinking also has to change.
Wakati nilifika hapa Uganda,
so when I reached here in Nakivale,
niliendelea kunywa pombe sana.
I continued taking alcohol.
Nikawaza kama ndio itanisaidia kwa mawazo.
And I thought maybe taking alcohol would be the solution.
Nilikuwa nakunywa na inalala bila kusemesha mwanamke.
So I could just take a lot of alcohol and just sleep without sharing even into my family.
Juma inaisha bila kumsemesha.
Even I could spend a week without even speaking or sharing with my wife.
Juma wazi ilikuwa mbali sana.
Because I had overthinking.
Lakini bahati nzuri,
but for the good luck,
nikakutana na Philippus.
I had to meet with Spirit.
Akaniongelesha.
And we started sharing C principles.
Nilikuwa najua kama nitaelewa.
Of course, I didn't know that maybe I can understand what he was sharing to me.
Akanionyesha mafundisho ya kanuni tatu.
But we started sharing C principles.
Nikasema kanuni tatu ni nini? Sikuwa naelewa.
It was hard for me to understand C principles.
Lakini bahati nzuri,
for good luck,
akaniongelesha.
We started
nikasikia.
And I understood.
Nikaanza kuacha pombe kidogo kidogo.
And gradually I started leaving or stopping alcohol.
Nikasikia kitu yangu inafunguka.
Myself, I had to see like light in me, and I stopped drinking.
Akanikutanisha tena na mzee Hari.
And also sharing with Hari.
Nikashangala sana.
Was also like wondering.
Na akaniongelesha.
And also we continued sharing.
Nikasikia nafunguka.
So myself, I had to see my own insight.
Nikaanza kujijua mimi.
Also, I had to understand myself and loving myself.
Nikasikia mawazi na kuya.
I started now thinking positive.
Kaona kamwangaza.
I started seeing light.
Nikaanza kujisamehe.
And myself I started forgiving.
Nikasemea Mungu nisamehe.
Also, I started like asking God for
yenyewe nilikuwa nawaza mbele vyote.
Even all I was overthinking before.
Nikaanza kutoka nikaona ni vya bure.
I had to let them go.
Na pombe nikaanza kuacha.
And I stopped drinking.
Nikaanza kujisamehe.
I started forgiving.
Na kusamehe wengine.
Even forgiving others.
Nikajua maana ya kujisamehe.
And I started now understanding and knowing how forgiveness is important.
Nikajielewa ndani mwangu.
And I had to understand myself.
Ndani mwangu nikajielewa kama
inside myself.
Nikaanza kujisamehe na kusamehe watu wengine.
Also, I started like forgiving others.
Kwa leo,
for now,
naanza kusamehe kufundisha watu wengine.
I'm also like teaching to others.
Ile mafundisho nikaona ni ya muhimu sana.
Because I see it is important to share others.
Kufundisha watu Nyarugugu.
I'm sharing in Nyarugugu group.
Na inawasaidia.
And it is helping them.
Zaidi watu wenyewe walitoka Kongo walikumbwa na vita.
Because so much people have been so affected, so my sharing is good.
Now wanaanza kusikia.
And also they are changing.
Na Mungu akinisaidia.
And I know with the help of God.
pamoja na nguvu na kuelewa kwangu,
and also my understanding,
nitaendelea kufundisha
I will continue sharing
wakati nitakuwa ningali hai hapa duniani,
as long as I'm still here in Akiba. I will continue sharing
ili mafundisho kabisa imeingia ndani mwangu,
because inside me I feel it,
hata nakosa chakula cha kuvaa nasikia tu furaha ndani mwangu,
and I have come to understand that happiness is free.
imenitosha mbali ile mawakilisha.
Because right now I'm living a free life and I'm living free.
Asante kwa kuwa mlitusogelea.
Thank you so much for making see this time.
Na Mungu atusaidie.
May God bless.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much. Okay. So that's Melinda sharing. Let's also hear from Andrew.
Jambo sana.
Greetings.
Bro, mimi naitwa kwa jina la Adrien.
I'm called Andrew.
Gerwin is a teacher in Success Roots School. He teaches the 3 principles there. I have never been quite sure what he teaches or how he teaches, but the effect on the kids are great. The other thing is Success Roots was where Mugisha, who was the originator of the school, but he was also the initial contact point. Many people wonder, how could I go into Africa when I've never been to Africa? And I didn't know where Uganda or Kenya or any of the places are. But that's the spiritual point of life. I've always been one who loves challenges. I've always been one to go into new territory where no one else would go. I've always been the one who loves diversity. I have always enjoyed that. And when Mugisha came, within 15 minutes, he had invited me in to help in Naka Valley. And one of the fruits of that is the school that Mugisha did, and he died about 4 or 5 months after we got to know each other. But Gerwin has carried that together, and in the Success Roots as well. As you notice, I put a sign out. The library has been built with another donation, and it with Sid's material and my material and other, and James Beck's beautiful, I forget the name of it, but anyway, beautiful stuff. And so Gerwin, can you, a short talk, because people are fairly full, but please share whatever your heart tells you to share about Success Roots School, what you are seeing with the kids, what you're seeing in your life, and how much fun you're having.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Jervin Baila. I am a Congolese refugee from the DRC living in Naki Valley Refugee Settlement. I am a primary school teacher at Success Roots Nazarene Primary School. And I teach the 3 Ps to the children in our school. Success Roots is the biggest school, which has more than 500 students. And out of these, I teach 2 classes. The 3 principles, which when we combine, we have almost 100 students that I teach the 3 principles in the school. So yeah, as Harry said, it has been really an amazing year going with the 3 principles, teaching the students. Actually, our program, we go through the teachings every Friday with the students in our school. And we have been learning about the Zahara stories. The first one that we had started with was the Zahara Asks What's Love, which the children enjoyed so much because, as you know, here in Africa and especially here in Naki Valley, with our cultures, it is really a taboo and a challenge for young people to talk about love. The parents see it as if it is a big challenge. So we have adolescents who really want to know about love, but they have no one to ask. They have nowhere to go and ask for guidance in such matters. So you find these ones, the students or the children in the community have been having a lot of dropouts from this school. And this is due to the fact that they have been getting unwanted pregnancies because they have been getting involved in relationships at a younger age without having anyone to guide them. But when we started with the program of the 3 Ps with the Zahara Asks What is Love stories, the children enjoyed them so much because they learned how to go about with these things of love and relationships. They learned from Zahara how Zahara asked Bibi for counseling, how to deal with her boyfriend and all that. So it has really been a great pleasure. And apart from that, we have also been going forward with the second book, which is Zahara Teaches What is Love. So the children, after learning about what is love, they have also taken it to their families. They have been teaching their fellow members about love, how to love others, how to share love. And actually, I've been sending them some homeworks to go home to ask questions to their parents. And by my greatest surprise, the responses that I've been receiving from the children at school is that some of our parents have been shouting at us like, how can you ask us such questions? Why do you ask such questions? Are these the things they're teaching you at?
Too bad. Well, what he shared was enough. There's no doubt about it. That's the beauty of the 3 principles. Gerwin shares with the students change the parents. It's always, everyone thinks it's the parents who are the key. But when the love of the kids blossoms, when Jim gets a volleyball net and stuff and the kids play, it makes the parents happy. Everything is a beautiful sharing. We're going to, oh, yeah, we'll give him another minute and see, and then we're going to,
Yeah, sorry about that. It is, I've been having a bit of a problem with the network. Yeah,
No,
so
as usual. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, as usual. So as I was saying, so the students have been really impressed with the Zahara stories, and especially with the library, which was built the school with the help and the donations from the teachings of 3 principles. The children have been enjoying, they have been reading books about Zahara. So at this time, they kind of master the stories by heart. So once you just ask them about Zahara, they can start telling you the whole story. So they have all of them, the story by heart. So all the chapters of the books, they already know all these stories. So when you ask them, they give you even the teachings that they get from each chapter of these books. And it has been really amazing because the stories have helped our students improve with the performances in school. I can testify that because before it was really hard for the students to really perform well when it comes even to English, because the stories, we usually use the English version. So it has really helped even our students to improve in English. So most of times I don't even read for them. I just pick the books, I distribute to all the students. I just tell them we're going to read this chapter on this page. So we turn the pages and the whole class starts reading. They keep flowing from the beginning up to the end. And when they finish, then it is time for questions. They ask questions, I answer, and I also ask them questions. They also answer. So it is really amazing. I'd like to say thank you so much to everyone who's contributing to this program. It is really helpful. it is helping us. And personally, it has also helped me a lot, especially this year, because I went through a lot of troubles, I can say. And I remember at the beginning of the year when I lost my father, Harry sent me a book about how to deal with loss when you're grieving. The book was connected with the 3 principles. So at that time, I was really down. I did not know how to deal with my sorrow, but the book really helped me a lot. I read it. And 3 weeks ago, I even again lost my aunt. And still, I had to go through the same procedure to try to see that everything that happens for a reason, and we don't always have the last words with what happens in our lives. We have to just know to deal with our thoughts. We have to know how to deal with everything which is happening around us, and to get in a quieter place in order for us to tap into our wisdom which is inside of us, so that it can lead us to go back again to happiness. If it wasn't for all these teachings I received and the books that I've been reading about the 3 principles, I think it would be really hard for me to deal with my sorrow. And also it would be a bit difficult for our students to improve on their performances at school and to improve on their English skills. So thank you so much to everyone. I'd just like to be brief. I'd really appreciate everyone for the contributions and the program. And as the Success Roots Nursery Primary School, we are looking forward to continuing with the program. We wouldn't like really the program to end, as we are at the end of the year. We'd like to continue again next year and the next year and next year forever, because this program has really been amazing. We have seen the amazing job which is happening in the school. So even our students are really also interested in going forward, because even in holidays, they are coming back to school, to the library, to read the stories, to read the books, and they really enjoy them so much. So thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you. Beautiful. And I want to add a name. Nagano is the executive director of Success Roots. He is the brother of Mugisha, and he is now and it was with his willingness to allow all of this to happen that Gerwin is teaching, and the library is in the school, etc. So I want to give a little tribute to Nagano as well for his leadership and vision for that. And Gerwin, thank you so much for your beautiful sharing. Wonderful, wonderful sharing.
That, Dickens. Yeah, I think Harry just mentioned it. I'm a bit full up because how you guys shared and what you guys shared, the feeling, the immensity and that beauty in you guys feeling, is just so powerful. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep. I don't know if I can add to that. I'm just gonna share what I'm seeing and how I'm feeling. And I think I wrote down before I come on here that I was listening to Sylvia and she was saying that happiness is free. And it's something that I was just realizing and looking on myself. And when I realized that happiness is free, that's when I allowed the love to just flow through me, and I started to see it everywhere. I started to see that I was love. And I've heard that so many times today from so many different beautiful shares that's coming from maybe tragic stories, but they can still feel that love and allow it to pass through them. And it's just an amazing thing when we think that we have to pay for something, or we think that there's a price, and we realize the thing, well, for me personally, the thing that I was searching for all my life, I realized it was in me already, and it was free. And I've just heard that story repeated so many times today, just with so many different backgrounds and so many different circumstances. But that feeling of love that it just burst in my chest just makes me feel alive. And so I got this understanding 7 years ago, and today I've just been a student. I've just been 100% student, just listening
and being in that feeling. Yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. And even when you guys share, it's deeper than our skin color. It goes deep. It's into the spiritual nature of every single human being. And I wouldn't have been able to say that before. All I could see was separation. But when I listen and I can connect and I can get support and I can see friendship. When we say we look past the words, as someone spoke about earlier, when you look past the words, when you look past the physical and into that spiritual space, we're all sharing from that same pot. And it's just so beautiful. You said it just now, Jim, just to be a part of this webinar, just to be a part of this just makes me feel so alive and connected and relevant. And yeah, even my story as to the year I've had or my ups and downs, just to hear other people sharing and where they're, it brings me back beyond that to the spiritual again. And you see the insignificance. We can all transcend our stories. We can all transcend what we think is possible. When we get into that zone and into that space of love, it's just the most beautiful, shareable thing that just, you realize it can't be damaged. Yeah, it can't be broken. You just want to share it by any means. And so many of these little things that people say, they've got this thing what we say in our culture, like each one teach one. So as you learn something, you just teach the next one. And this understanding is just that in the process. As you learn it for yourself, you don't have to know it or understand it. You just have to know that you are it and you can teach it just by being it. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, just so much love and it's just so emotional, man. And no, thank you, Harry, for what you've done and how you've spread and how this thing just comes full circle. Jim, Shalia, all of the whole team. It's just so beautiful. It's just a privilege for me to be a part of it and to have this feeling of connection that transcends boundaries, transcends borders, just transcends everything into that space. And that's all I've been hearing all evening, speaking from that beautiful space, beyond circumstances. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. It's this, I was lucky enough to stumble onto this and see it and feel something. And I've seen that everybody on this call has been blessed with that same vision, that same luck to see it and feel it. And wherever it takes us, it's just going to be the most beautiful space. Yeah, like I say, I'm full up, Dicken. I don't know, you can say something, but that was just, it's just the most amazing. I just wish you guys, yeah, all the best for the new year and have a nice festive period. And yeah, whatever you believe is possible is possible. If you can feel it, it's possible. And you've just opened up my realms of possibilities this evening. You just put a whole new few layers on that. And that one, where they said, to share is to grow. Oh my God. To share is to grow. It's beautiful, beautiful. I thought to grow, you had to learn more and you had to to share, to let go. That's how we grow. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. When we got the courage to believe that we are love. And if we are love, we can't be broken. Because everything that is owed to us is free. Thank you, everybody, man. Thank you, everybody.
Derrick, thank you, my friend. Wow. That's so powerful. Isn't it something? We're sitting in different countries. We're talking to a computer. And your feeling is coming right through that computer and touching my heart deeply. That's the power of the principles. It knows nothing about time and space. It's spiritual. I feel like just sitting here today, I've been so deeply touched, really, really moved hearing your stories, sharing from wisdom what you know. And it made me think of how Sid Banks, when he said, every single one of you is connected to the same wisdom, so no human being is wiser than you. You're like waves on the ocean, and it may look like we're different, but we're all connected to the same ocean of wisdom, of consciousness, of creative potential. We're not different. The phrase that came to mind listening today was, you really are kindred spirits. I love that phrase, kindred spirit. Kin, you know what kin means? Family. We're all part of the same family on a deeper level. And so while I was listening, a vision came to my mind that has never come to mind before. And I want to share it with you. I used to think I was just a finger and that I was separate from every other person and that we were different. And because I didn't know I was connected to spirit, which is the gift that Sid Banks brought into the world, every one of us psychologically is connected to spirit. So it's the creator God. So it's the source of everything created that we experience. But it's all coming from the same source, from the one God. And so I used to live in a lot of fear because you were different than me. And so I'd compare myself to other fingers. Oh, you're bigger. Oh, I should be a bigger finger. And oh, I'm small. And the more I lived as if I'm separate, that's what Sid Banks called ego. The more you live in ego, and he says, you know what ego is? Whenever you believe whatever you're thinking. And he said, you know what ego is? It's fear. So I lived like this. And eventually, because I felt different and afraid, I became afraid of other people and I judged other people. And then inevitably, you have this happening in the world. A lot of conflict and disagreements and war and differences. And the beauty of this is, as a finger, Sid would say, look within. Look within. If you're a wave on the ocean, look down and you'll go, oh my God, there's a lot of me that I'm connected to this ocean of spirit. Or if you're a finger, look down. You say, oh, we're all part of the same hand, which is our soul, which is consciousness. We all share the same soul. And what is soul? It's connected to the whole body. We're all part of one. And this body has a heart. So at the very core of our being is a heart that pumps life force into us and allows us to experience peace and happiness and love. I've been hearing it all night long here, listening to you talk about. That's what I love about learning that we're connected to a spiritual being and that we're all one, part of one. We're all part of the same human being, the same kindred spirits. And it changes it because then your fingers don't have to fight with each other. They're all connected. And it eliminates that feeling that I'm inferior or better and that I'm different. We're all part of the same body, if you will, the same spirit, the same heart, the same divine love. I would not be interested in this, passionate about this for 35 years since I met Sid Banks, if it didn't awaken love in my life and bring peace to me and help me be able to discover a happiness that has nothing to do with circumstance. What a gift. And then you can't help to do what you're doing is you want to share it right away with people. Oh my God. Inside, we're all beautiful beings and we don't know it. Inside, we're all connected to a divine love, a divine wisdom that will bring us exactly what we need. And all we have to do is let go of the negative and be open and receptive. Be open and receptive to that inflowing of spirit and love, and then share it. As Sid would say, don't keep it to yourself. If you fill up with good feeling, now you have something to offer the world. Bring it bring it as a smile, as a kind word, as a hug, as just walking down, bringing that light. It's like a light in the darkness, and light always overcomes the darkness. And the discovery that that light is within each of us, the divine light. And all we have to do is uncover that light. In Christianity, they say, don't put the bushel basket over the lamp. Uncover the lamp so the light can shine forth. So that's what came to mind as I listened today to the beautiful, beautiful sharing of love, and wisdom, and understanding that's been going on here. I have enormous gratitude for each one of you for what it is that you are discovering and then sharing. And that's the beautiful thing. Sharing is caring. Sharing awakens love and hope in other people. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm honored to be invited to be part of this wonderful group.
And Derek, two people, they're on the board of 3PGC, and they were instrumental in having the four leaders have a talk at their peace ceremony. And I mentioned to Dicken and to Derek how much that meant to us. It allowed us to share on a platform that allowed us to tell a very simple message. That 3P goes anywhere, and wherever it touches, it spreads healing to people. And just some people are more open to it than others. That is all I can see. And for whatever the reason, our team has come together spiritually, and we've shared a spiritual message with people who are spiritual. They know about love. That's all I can say. And now we're going to go to the last part of our show, which you've heard a lot of words about Sahara. And just for those who are listening, Sahara Asked What Is Love was written in 2 weeks, and it's the first book. And Sahara is 15 years old, primarily talking to Bibi and reading Sydney Banks. So it's a combination of the wisdom of Bibi and Sydney Banks, but she's an evolved soul emerging into the world, wanting to know the difference between the love of her boyfriend and the love of God. And the book answers that for her. And she grows and transforms. The second book, Sahara Teaches What Is Love. She is now 22 years old, a teacher at Success Root School, and it's written for a younger audience. But in this particular book, the last 2 chapters, so I wrote that book in a week, and primarily it was written already. I had many chapters, but the last 2 chapters were very special to me because they Sahara talks about Dear Liza from our teacher, Sydney Banks. And so you're going to hear one chapter, the first chapter of 2 chapters in the book, that describing how she's sharing this with the students in Success Root School. And these books are and read by Jim Beck, by the way, James Beck over there. Not read incredibly by Jim Beck, I will say. Written So you have the free books. You just go to my website, download either the digital or the audio of all these books. And that's a message for you. You can't charge money for people who don't have money. But if your purpose is to educate, that becomes the focus. So we put those out for free, and they have, as you can see, they have really supported and helped. Dick and I went and read a chapter from the first book. I couldn't remember a word of it. I was impressed, but I couldn't remember a word of it.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it because my name's on it, but I cannot remember anything about it. And I was blown away by what I was learning. So we're going to listen to that. And there is another book, which I'll probably release in about 6 months or a year. It's Sahara and a Tale of Two Worlds. But it's finished now, but I'm going to leave it for a little while. So we're going to listen to this talk, Jim Beck reading, one of the chapters, and Sahara teaches what is love. And I have to do some homework. I have to do the share screen. I hope it all works. Share sound. Optimize for video clip. I'll give that. And click share. Did that? Oh, I didn't. I hope that works. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Part 6. Zahara teaches Dear Liza. When Miss Zahara shared a little bit about the book Dear Liza, the students of her class asked how it was possible that Liza was happy when she did not have any money, mother and father, and had to take care of Jenny, who was 5 years old, while living in a single room of an abandoned house in England, which also confused the young boys and girls as they thought everyone in England was rich. Zahara explained that in the story, Liza had acquired inner wisdom about love from her mother. Zahara mentioned that this was very similar to what she had learned from her own grandmother. Her own life would not have been as magical as it was without the teachings of Bibi. She remembered Bibi saying, Zahara, I will answer you the question of what is love. We feel love between us. That is the love I understand. Your love instills love in my heart. It makes me feel young and hopeful. I love you, Zahara, and I know you love me. That is the love I understand. Love is not make-believe. Love is a fact. Only when we have dark, unforgiving thoughts do we color love over with darkness. Let these thoughts drift away, and what you will find is your unlimited ability to love. In fact, she said to her class, I would never have become a teacher because I lacked the confidence to see myself in a successful way. However, once I uncovered that the love of God and the love of myself are one and the same, life seemed to blossom for me. If you cannot love yourself, I will tell you that you will never be happy and have fun in life. Zahara then began to explain the Dear Liza story to the class, which was set in 1834, of how the major, an officer in the English army, lived in a castle with his very beautiful wife, with servants, horses, and all the money that anyone would need. But he was not happy. Something was missing in his life. When he accidentally met Liza, who was trying to sell him some candlesticks on one of the poorer streets of London, which is a big city in England. She touched his heart in a loving way. In his life, the Major always wanted to know what made poor people such as Liza happy under such bad circumstances, while many wealthy people like himself can be unhappy with ideal living conditions. He asked Liza why she appeared to be so happy with her life. Liza replied, "My mom always said happiness comes from our hearts, and if we can keep our hearts and heads full of nice thoughts, we will always live in contentment." As the Major began to spend time with Liza and Jenny, he found they both had very bad coughs from the dampness in their very poor but clean room in an abandoned house. He got his cook to make food, his servant to bring wood for a fire to cook food and keep them warm, his wife to give clothes, and each time he shared, he felt more and more love.
What is it? What happened? Ah! Oh, shoot.
Darkness. Let these thoughts drift away, and what you will find is your unlimited ability to love. In fact, she said to her class, I would never have become a teacher because I lacked the confidence to see myself in a successful way. However, once I uncovered that the love of God and the love of myself are one and the same, life seemed to blossom for me. If you cannot love yourself, I will tell you that you will never be happy and have fun in life. Zahara then began to explain the Dear Liza story to the class, which was set in 1834, of how the Major, an officer in the English army, lived in a castle with his very beautiful wife, with servants, horses, and all the money that anyone would need. But he was not happy. Something was missing in his life. When he accidentally met Liza, who was trying to sell him some candlesticks on one of the poorer streets of London, which is a big city in England, she touched his heart in a loving way. In his life, the Major always wanted to know what made poor people such as Liza happy under such bad circumstances, while many wealthy people like himself can be unhappy with ideal living conditions. He asked Liza why she appeared to be so happy with her life. Liza replied, My mom always said happiness comes from our hearts, and if we can keep our hearts and heads full of nice thoughts, we will always live in contentment. As the Major began to spend time with Liza and Jenny, he found they both had very bad coughs from the dampness in their very poor but clean room in an abandoned house. He got his cook to make food, his servant to bring wood for a fire to cook food and keep them warm, his wife to give clothes, and each time he shared, he felt more and more love in his heart. As the Major told his wife Laura about Liza and Jenny, love began to flow more and more between them, where before he met Liza, their love was dwindling. Liza's love of God and life was affecting the Major and his wife to open their hearts to loving each other once again. Zahara read from the book to illustrate this growing love. With deep tenderness in her voice, Laura asked the Major to tell her more about the children and what he found so special about them. There's definitely something unique about the way those two children appreciate the smallest things. For example, when I asked Liza why she was always so happy, do you know what she replied? She said her mom told her that happy thoughts bring happy days and sad thoughts bring sad days. I tell you, Laura, there's a beautiful simplicity to her mother's words. And when Liza quoted those words, something in me stirred. The major had asked Liza why she was so pleased with her life, and this is how she answered. Sir, may I be so bold as to suggest to you that perhaps you are looking in the wrong place for your happiness? My mum always said that all the wealth in the world would never buy you happiness, and that happiness can only be found from your own heart. At this point, Zahara said, that is enough for this class, and we should now have a discussion about this story. She asked the young students if they would like to hear more of the story in another class, and they all yelled, yes, yes, yes. After telling this part of the story to the young students, she asked the following questions and had a wonderful discussion with the appreciative students. Question 1. Do you think this story will have a happy ending? Question 2. Why did Bibi say that Zahara would have unlimited love if she let the negative thoughts drift away? Question 3. Why is Liza so happy even though she has no money, no mom and dad, and no real home to live in? Question 4. What did the mom teach Liza about thought and happiness? Question 5. Is the major lucky to have met Liza? Why? She assigned her students the following homework. Tell the class tomorrow how you shared love with your mom and dad and family.
Where am I? So we come to the end of another, every 6 months we throw a little get together. We want to thank everybody for their great participation and everything. The beautiful reading by Jim. Just to let you know, 3P in Africa YouTube's channel has the book club that Jim and I threw that will teach you a little bit more about the book. But my advice is just read the book or listen to the book and let the feelings touch you, type of thing. And I want to thank everybody and for this amazing time together, and God bless. Stop just a sec here. Where's the stop?
Thank you, Harry.
You're welcome.